Hey guys, Dr. Vu here, and I hope you guys all had a happy holiday, and I hope you guys are going to have a good New Year's also. Um, I didn't give y'all a teaser question last time, so I'll just jump right into what I wanted to talk about today. Everyone knows the Resident Evil series, right? 1 through 6, Code Veronica X, Umbrella Chronicles, etc., etc. And they always use the same healing items in the game. They have, the herbs and the first aid sprays. But how do the herbs actually work? It makes sense if they eat it raw, totally makes sense to me. But when they mix the herbs, you see that they grind it into a fine powder and such. And it never really is explained how that works. And we jump to Resident Evil 5, where, oh my gosh, there's animations for all the healing. And you see them spray themselves down. And I was confused and I had even more questions than ever. But I'm like, okay, whatever. So let's move on. We'll move on to Resident Evil 6, where how convenient. They can turn them into Tic Tacs and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do my best today to explain how I think the herbs work. And I'll do so through the original Resident Evil for the PlayStation. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, and that was what Resident Evil 1 was known for. I think it was one of the first games to start utilizing live action cutscenes. And yeah, it's pretty lame like that, but it was really innovative back in the day, and everybody was like, holy crap, look at all that. There's voice acting and all that. Alright, so I'm going to be a scrub, because I am one. And I'm going to play Jill. Okay, so this room seems really familiar to me. I believe this is the book that kind of explains how herbs work in the game. So let's see. Here we go. Botany book about medicinal herbs. So they talk about all the different herbs. Green recovers strength, blue heals poison, and red increases the effects of the green herb by 3 times. So, that the green herb heals 1 bar of recovery, I guess you can say, from yellow to green. So, so if you do it threefold, that means if you were in red and you use the green and red herb, you would go from red to green. So yeah, pretty much it. So now all I gotta do is just find an herb, and I can finally get to the meat and potatoes of this whole video. And I think there's one coming up. There should be 2 acid spitters and an herb downstairs. Alright, so let's pick up our first herb in the game. Yeah. Will you take the green herb? No, I only walked up to it and pressed X. Alright, so cool. You can see, in the item menu that it is actually an herb. It looks, like a plant, but wait till I find another one and we'll see what happens to it. Alright, so let's try to do that. I really don't remember when the next healing herb is in this game, so we'll see how long I'll be playing. But, just in case this game does take too long and I don't want to make a really lengthy video, I'll start explaining kind of my theory behind the herbs. As with, all medicine, the medicine has to be metabolized in the body first. So if you eat the herb, but first you have to find out how does it get into the body. So there, the herb as is, like I said, I think you can eat it, and it'll work just like that. It must have some kind of man. Got sick over Christmas. I know, the doctor getting sick, right? But all right. Second herb, real quick. Let's just show this real quick, since I found one. Yes, I will take it. All right. So we combine. Will you mix the herbs? Yes. All right. So you see, look, they're powdered now. So this is my main quirk about the game, because an individual herb and say you mixed it with the red herb, you think that, you know, they tie the herbs up or something, and then you eat it, and it's, you know, basically eating two herbs at one time, and it saves space in your inventory. So that makes sense, right? But now, how do they use this powder? So let me actually use it, because I need to heal anyway. So it heals you and you're at full health, but they don't show what they're actually doing to heal with it. Now, I have two ideas. One, these are herbs. Herbs. So they smoke it and they feel better. I thought I killed this guy. Or the other way is they eat the powder itself. I don't know if you guys are familiar with BC powder or goodies, but those are powders that you can actually eat or like place on your tongue and then you drink some water. Or if you don't like eating the powder like that, you can actually mix it in your water and then drink it as such. So that's another way that they could be taking this ground up herbs and stuff like that. How do herbs work, or what's my idea behind the herbs? They heal health, so obviously they have to have some kind of pain relieving effect. You know, it's an analgesic one way or another. How do they exactly work? I really couldn't even give you my slightest guess. I mean, I know how BC powder works. BC powder is just two things. It's basically aspirin and caffeine put together. So people like taking BC powder when they have headaches and stuff like that. So the aspirin works by binding prostaglandins, blah blah blah. Basically blocks pain receptors. And how caffeine works with headaches is it crosses the blood-brain barrier. So in your head, it basically allows for more blood and more oxygen to be passed through. So I'm gonna assume that these herbs have a similar property. Not the best answer that you could have gotten, but you know, it's my idea of how the herbs work, because we don't know. We just see that they grind up and you have two little powders. In Resident Evil 4 they have it in these cylindrical tubes, so now it seems like they're smoking a herb bong or something like that. Gave me acid rounds but no grenade launcher. Okay. Let's see. In Resident Evil 5, you see them spray themselves down with herbs. While I'm explaining these, I'm going to try to put a video down below. I was I'm too lazy to actually find all the ROMs and emulators of all these games, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So while I'm explaining this, I'll be trying to show a video. So you can see in Resident Evil 5 that they actually spray themselves down, and that makes no sense whatsoever. Because now you're thinking it's an aerosolized topical antiseptic or something like that. And it kind of blows my idea out the park, unless it has the pain-relieving properties as such to work locally, I guess. So, I mean, if you can smoke the herb, then I guess you can just spray it on a wound and expect it to do the same. And then we go to Resident Evil 6, where they say that the herbs are converted into pills, which if you want to keep the idea of the powders going along in the game, I think it makes more sense to call them capsules, because you can actually like twist apart a capsule and see the powder inside. So after they grind up the herbs or whatever they do, they can actually scoop it into the capsule and eat it like that. So that makes a lot of sense to me. So the powder system works, and ingesting it as such. But spraying it down, that just totally boggles my mind when I saw that. I thought that maybe the game creators or something were just lazy and just recycled the same animation over again. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. This is a relatively short video, which is good, considering my last two videos have been 10 plus minutes, and I know that you guys don't enjoy listening to me talk that much. So let me just push this. Did I totally run out of bullets? Yes, I did. Let me just push this statue off the balcony, revealing the blue diamond or whatever it is. Or die, you know, that's cool. I totally paused my game too to see what my health is at. But, um, alright. I'll wrap up my game with this timely game over. Okay, and that was my explanation about how herbs work in Resident Evil. Again, this is the point of Doctor's Day Off, is to put a little bit of realism into some video game quirks. Um, this video was more so for myself than anything, because it was kind of like older me explaining to younger me how it works. Because, I mean, ever since I first started playing the Resident Evil series, or even watching my older brother play, I always wondered how they work. And he kind of jokingly told me that they smoked it, like it's on brown paper and it's a powder and they roll it up and smoke it and feel better. And I accepted that as my naive self. So to even have an inkling of how it worked, like explained how the smoking is actually plausible, eating it like BC powder, and yeah, that's actually the two main ideas. It makes me feel a little bit better. Like it tells me that I learned something in life. But all right, enough babbling there. I don't have a teaser question for next week. So I guess we'll find out in 2014 what the next Doctor's Day Off will entail. I'm Dr. Vu, reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay classy.